The Zika virus, Boston reporting its first case of the disease, now more than 30 cases detected here in the U.S.
The level of alarm is extremely high.
Overnight, Brazil's president saying the virus has gone from a distant nightmare to a real threat.
And take a look at this map. You see the outbreak originating in South America and moving north.
The Zika virus is, quote, spreading explosively.
Zika virus is spreading now to Florida, where the governor has declared a state of emergency in 4 counties.
Over the past 2 years, reports about the Zika virus have been on the rise and are all over news outlets. One of the reasons why this is because the Zika virus was only observed in a certain region of the world, and this included Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Islands. As of May 2015, the first case was observed outside of this part of the world, and that was in a country called Brazil in South America. Now, you can see from the maps on the news, they say the virus is spreading all over and is coming into the United States. This is not entirely true. Yes, there are cases in the United States where people have the Zika virus, but those people haven't received the virus from simply being in the country. Those cases that you hear about on the news, where somebody is in the United States and has Zika virus, those are the people who have been in and out of the country and have most likely gotten the virus from being outside of the country, not in it. There has not been a case right here so far in the United States where someone has received the virus from simply being in here. But the question comes to mind, how has the virus spread so fast over these past couple of years, and why is it such a serious matter that it's all over the news? So first things first, we need to figure out what the Zika virus is, what are its symptoms, and how does it spread from one person to the next? Let's take a look.
The Zika virus is transferred to humans through the bite of a mosquito. The first case was discovered in Uganda in 1952. The Zika virus is mostly found in tropical regions, but has also been present in Africa, Asia, the Americas, and the Pacific. The virus peaked in 2007 when 64 countries had reported cases. Women that are pregnant should especially watch out for this virus because it can cause defects to their baby. You might wonder why we're even talking about the Zika virus today. Well, that's because there's no vaccine, there's no cure.
So what are some of the common symptoms of the Zika virus? They include fever, rash, joint pain, and red eyes. In fact, many of the symptoms resemble the flu, so many people are never even properly diagnosed. And also, some people don't show any signs of illness, and that's just another way that sneaky Zika virus gets away with it. And now, this brings us to the biggest issue of Zika virus, which is something known as microcephaly. That sounds like a big word, but all micro means is small, and cephaly just means disease of the head area. Microcephaly affects newborns whose mothers had the virus, and as you can see, these babies have shrunken heads. That's not all though. There could be problems with walking, feeding, hearing loss, vision loss, or it can even lead to autism.
So viruses have different ways of being passed from person to person. In this case, the virus is passed through mosquitoes. What a mosquito does is it bites a person and takes their blood. Then it can go and bite another person and give them that virus as well. Zika virus can also be passed from person to person through their saliva, blood, or other bodily fluids.
So now we have a good idea what the Zika virus is all about. But now the question is, if there is no cure, how do people who have the virus or are at risk treat themselves or prevent themselves from getting worse symptoms?
As of now, there's no vaccine or medication to prevent or treat the virus. The Center for Disease and Control suggests to rest, stay hydrated, and take medications such as Tylenol to reduce fever and pain. If you have Zika, you'll want to prevent mosquito bites for the first week of your illness. That's because during the first week, the virus can still be found in your blood, and it can be passed on to other mosquitoes through mosquito bites.
So we have an idea of how Zika patients are treated, but that's not enough because we still need a cure to get rid of the virus. There are researchers and scientists out there in the United States who are working hard to find a way to get rid of Zika for good. Let's find out some more information about these researchers.
Hey kids, you guys remember Bill Nye, the science guy? He was really cool. You know why? He was a scientist. Why is he a scientist? Because science is great. Why is science great? Because science shows us why this tree is green, or why this wood is brown, or why these bricks are red. Because why? Bricks are made out of color. Color is from science. Everything we do is from science. That's one thing we can do to stay ahead of the Zika virus. We want to use science to our advantage. So kids, as we've discussed, research is very important just for the Zika virus. So how are scientists doing this research? Well, there's an organization. It's called WHO. You might be wondering what WHO is. WHO stands for World, Your Health, and it's an organization. So it's like you, me, and everyone around us. So we make this thing called World Health Organization. What the World Health Organization does, it's like your parents. What they do is they prioritize you. Your mom and dad both work together in the morning to get you off, eat your cereal, go to school. That's what the WHO, the World Health Organization, does. They're prioritizing the research done on the Zika virus. Why? They're making all these experts just like you building your Lego blocks, working together to defeat the virus. On top of that, kids, it gets even better. You don't just go to school and start writing without a pencil. Your teachers ensure you have a pencil. Well, that's what WHO does. WHO ensures that the tools are there in the labs to fight the Zika virus. We don't like the Zika virus, we want to fight it. On top of that, the WHO organization is using tools to communicate with the virus. As you were younger and growing up, how did we get rid of bad behavior that you guys were doing in school? We would write on the agenda and we would communicate with the parents. That's what the WHO organization is doing. It's using what we call a vector organism to go and communicate with the Zika virus and get rid of the bad behavior that the Zika virus does. It's bad, kid. As you were growing older, do you remember we would have one fish? The fish would make 3 fishes. The fish would make more fishes. All that happens through DNA replication. Well, scientists from WHO and another organization called National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases, almost the same organization, are now preparing another technique in the form of a vaccination. Vaccination is just a simple shot. It doesn't hurt too much. But what the vaccination can do is it can take out the DNA bases. So what you do is you defeat the virus before it can replicate. Alright kids, if you ever seen a pregnant mother before, they have a big belly and the children are inside the belly and the children can't feed themselves. So what happens is whatever the mother eats or whatever the mother has, chances are that the kids receive it too. Same thing with the Zika virus. It's been known that when a mother is pregnant, it's been passed along to her children. So scientists in Wisconsin are taking a very creative approach. See, kids, we're related to monkeys. We came from monkeys and we look like monkeys and monkeys act like us. So what scientists are doing is they're injecting the virus into monkeys when they're pregnant. Why? Because then they monitor the monkeys and the ultrasound and the blood test, which are just simple test results showing if you have the virus. And what they're doing with that is they're trying to put a format to do research on us because we look like monkeys.
My guy's really excited about finding a cure for Zika virus. So, we've discussed what the Zika virus is, what are its symptoms, what people can do to treat themselves if they have it, and some further research that's happening in order to find a way to eradicate Zika virus for good. We hope you enjoyed watching this video and we hope you really learned something. Thank you for watching and we'll see you later.